Hey everybody, Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads, and welcome to the call today. We're going to be going over cash offers, iBuyer type of stuff between the landing pages, of which you can create as many as you want. We got the PDF guide. It's also part of our follow-up, where in the seller lead follow-up, we've got a cash offer email that goes out to people as well. And all of this is customizable. We're just talking to one of the top listing agents in the country a little bit ago. He's got his own cash offer landing page. And he said, can I use that within the listings to lead system? And I said, absolutely. So I'm going to show you that as well, because I figured if he's got that question, maybe some of others have it as well. So thank you everybody for dropping in where you are at. Ellicott City, actually, George Bellevue. I don't know if you know George Bellevue, Diane, but long time client way back in the day. Don't know I haven't heard from him in a while. Not even sure if he's still in real estate, but regardless, Littleton, Colorado, Arizona, Alabama. Awesome. Good to see everybody. All right. So I am at listingstoleads.com. And I don't know what part of Ellicott City he was from, but I just remember because, he was like one of our very first groups of clients back in 2009. For a long time, and I haven't heard from him in a few years, so I'm not really sure if he's even doing real estate anymore. So, but wish him the best. Hope all is well, and if he is around, maybe he's on this call. I don't know. So, George, if you're on this call, I hope you're doing well. All right, and so while we go through this, please share any feedback, any successes, any issues that you may have around what we're talking about here today. I want to go to the marketing calendar because the iBuyer offer is something that I would do monthly to my database and to my audience. You're going to see here on the marketing calendar, every day we've got something different. So today, for example, is the PDF guide, home seller negotiation secrets. But notice on the 7th was iBuyer. Now, you don't have to follow our calendar exactly. Some things we repeat weekly. Like every week, I want you to be marketing a listing, yours or borrowed. When you've got them, I want you to be doing sold and pending marketing because that's some of the best seller leads. Once a week, you should be marketing one of our guides. And we actually give you suggestions based on some of our top performing guides. We do have a guide for cash offer, which I'll be walking through today. And on Thursdays, we talk about more seller focused lead generation, whether it's the 100-point home marketing plan, the first week of the month, iBuyer second week, home value the third week, investors lowballing you the fourth week, and then we repeat that. And then on Friday, we talk about different kind of random things. So whether it's new construction, down payment assistance, but some of these are things that you can repeat weekly. Some are things that you can repeat monthly. You can do whatever you want, but we've got the calendar here kind of as an easy guide for you just to follow along with. Doesn't mean you can't do iBuyer today. Obviously, you can do iBuyer whenever you want. But when you see it come up in the calendar here, that can just be a little, like a little reminder, like, hey, don't forget to push that iBuyer message out sometime this month. So with that, let's go to follow-up. Was just talking to a top trainer a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying he's moving all of his people from Go High Level into Listings to Leads, in part because of our follow-up hits the inbox almost 100% of the time. Now, you cannot pull leads into our system. You can only send to leads that are generated. But when you think about it, maybe you've got Follow-Up Boss, and you send out the cash offer e-flyer or the PDF guide for cash offer, and people opt in. Well, now they are in Listings to Leads. Part of the reason we have such a high deliverability rate, all right? It's almost like 100% of our emails hit the inbox is because we don't let people pull in their leads. Because what would happen is people would start pulling in their leads. They would bring in bought leads, and then they would spam them. And then our deliverability rate would go down to every other CRMs. So it would be like 50% or less. And then people would be complaining that they don't have anything going to the inbox. So it's kind of like one thing or the other. Do you run the iBuyer for 1 day or 7? You know, I'll get to that, Rob. Yeah. So hold on a second there, and I will cover all of that, obviously. But let me show you here. I've got seller lead follow up, and our buyer and seller lead follow up. It's really powerful. I will click on it, and then I'll turn it on. You can see how it works. Fully customizable. I can add emails. I can edit emails. I can duplicate the campaign. And I believe the cash offer is down a little bit. And so what we do is every other email in both buyer and seller follow-up, it's either a guide, so a different guide related to home ownership and home selling for the seller leads. And then it'll be a really like short one. And I'll show you an example here. So let me find the cash offer. If I passed it, let me know. But I think, there we go. Should you sell your house fast for cash? So I click see more. Here is the email. I know some people they like to come in here and they'll take what we've got. They'll click edit. Maybe make it a little bit more personal for your area. So selling your NorCal home. All right. So it makes it a little bit more personal to my area. I'll do the same, NorCal home for fast cash, a great way to get out of a home quickly. And then I can edit whatever I want here. I can take this, throw it into Chat GPT, ask for some different ideas on how to maybe make this a little bit more engaging for your local area. Make sure you don't use the M dash. I always make sure I take the M dash and I convert it into a comma, just so that people don't peg it for being AI generated immediately. Did you create a campaign to do this? No, Melinda, this is in your account by default. So everyone that has a Listings to Leads account will have this campaign automatically in there. I can send a test email, save a draft. You can even take this and copy it into Follow Up Boss or drop it into Bold Trail or Lofty, whatever you want. So now you can see there's the edit that I made. Should you sell your NorCal home fast for cash? Now we've got e-flyers. So this is just part of the follow-up. We've got straight up e-flyers, which I'll show you in a little bit. But check this out. Send test email. All right, send. What's really cool here, and this is something I want you guys to pay attention to. You sometimes will get an email notification from Listings to Leads, and it will say, so-and-so downloaded a guide. And it's typically coming from one of these emails. All right, so here's the email I just edited as part of my follow-up. Should you sell your NorCal home fast for cash? What's really, really cool is when people click this, it just downloads. There's no landing page. So, and you will know because it was sent to a contact either in Listings to Leads or in your CRM, and the guides are all branded to you. So your logos, your picture, everything for you. And you get a feel for it right here. All right, looks great. We get so many great compliments from people on our guides. They're meant to be conversation starters. So, we want people to come back to you for more information. All right. So back to my point though, when these emails go out with the guides, whether it's this one or any other ones, and they click in the email to download the guide, they're not going to go to a landing page. They're going to download the guide right away, which is powerful because it means they don't have to put in their name and email again because you've already got that in your CRM. So you will get an email notification, and it may say something like, Scott Pierce downloaded the PDF guide. Should you sell your home fast for cash? And then a link to the guide is in the email in case you haven't read the guide. There's so many guides, you can't read them all. So you can take a quick look at the guide, and then I would call the lead up. And in fact, this happened to a client last week I was talking to because he reached out to me because he didn't know what it was. He's like, Scott, I got this email, but I don't know where they got the guide from. And I said, well, that was part of your follow-up. He's like, oh, shit. He's like, damn. All right, awesome. And I said, call him up. So he called him up, had a conversation, awesome, right? So a phenomenal way to use these follow-ups to engage, whether it's just people in your database, the leads, maybe they've never talked to you before, or maybe they have, but it's just another great way to stay in touch, adding a lot of great value to the people that are either in your database or the leads that you're generating. So that is that. Let me go back here to the main follow-up page, and I will turn that on so you can see, everybody can see how this gets turned on. And I can rearrange the emails. Again, I can edit the emails. You go over to the far right, you see I can duplicate. So sometimes people want to create for example, maybe a dedicated seller campaign for expired listings, or a dedicated seller campaign for something else. Well, you can duplicate this, and then just edit those emails to be more appropriate for expired or canceled or whatever it is. To turn these on, to activate them, oh, it's so easy. Hit that switch, so off to on. There'll be a little dialog box right here. So that's the email I'm going to use. You may have multiple emails. Send to, that my seller leads will be automatically selected. Send this campaign to existing contacts. So maybe you've been with us for a while, you haven't turned this on. I would say yes, leave it on, and then make it recurring and hit save. And that way, I think the campaigns go for like 4 to 6 months, and then we repeat them. What we do in the meantime is we go through every couple of weeks, and we'll change a couple of subject lines. We'll change a couple of the email body, right? The body of the email, we'll change it up a little bit just so it stays a little bit fresh, doesn't get nested into a Gmail. And you've got actually the ability to click a button to get all of our updates in there. All right. Jim, how do we send this to our contacts in our database? Yeah. Well, a couple of ways. One is you could just copy that email, drop it into your CRM, and send it out. That's one way of doing it. We've got emails for the landing page, and we've got emails for the guide as an e-flyer as well, which I'll get to. And I will show you using Follow Up Boss, but you could use whatever email program that you want. Fair enough? So let's go to the guides first. And, ads are one thing. Ads are great, but we got so many other great tools to get this message out to the market, to your audience. So on the PDF guide page, I'm just going to type in cash. Otherwise, you're scrolling all the way down, and that gets a little bit old. So I typed in cash in the search bar. Here's the guide. You can download it in English and Spanish. You've got text-only versions as well. I can click to open up the landing page. I can edit the landing page. So if I want to change the image, so this would be the image that displays when I post it to social media. You could use Canva. We've got other images here, so I can click change image. And you can see I can upload a unique image here. I could go to media from L to L. That should have actually shown suggested. I'll take a look at that. But here are some other images I could use. All right, but again, I can upload a custom image. Here's the autoresponder for the landing or the PDF guide landing page. We got the lead form. So this is on the landing page itself. So I can edit that if I want to. I'm going to go back to marketing tools. And let's go to Facebook and Instagram ads. So again, we've got Facebook ads, Facebook and Instagram, Google ads, social media post, short form video script, e-flyers for your database, a database call script, print flyers, which would be great, for example, if you're going to an open house. I don't have the cash one, but here's an example of a flyer that you put like in an acrylic holder, and at an open house, people can scan the QR code on all these flyers and download the guide right at your open house. It's a phenomenal way to really promote these guides with it from listings to leads. We got postcards and door hangers. If you want to add this to a postcard campaign to a farm area, farmer circle prospecting scripts, and a QR code. We've got the similar tools for the landing pages as well. So for the PDF guide, you're going to see here, the ad free guide, should you sell your house fast for cash? I can click in here. I can edit this however I want. But again, sometimes you might go to the meta ad library, check out what other people are doing. Always be careful of that. Just because somebody's running an ad on Facebook does not mean it's performing well. Unfortunately, the meta ad library does not really show you how they're performing. They just show you all the ads that are running. And sometimes it can be good for a little bit of inspiration, but you got to be careful that, again, like I said, you have no idea how the ad is performing. They could be generating leads at $100 a lead. And if you go copy their ad, well, who knows what you're going to be doing. Typically, these within the listings to lead system are coming in between 12 to 20 bucks, right? Could be as low as $8 sometimes for a seller lead off the PDF guides like this one. Could be high as $30. I mean, it really depends. But fully editable. To run an ad on Facebook, all you have to do is type in the location. Going to do a lifetime budget of $50. I'm going to change that to $100. You got a start and end date. So Rob, I think this goes to your question. We default to a week, but you can do whatever you want. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to run this ad twice. The second time, I'm going to walk you through how to do a custom audience. So this would be just running it as a standard ad on Facebook. I'm going to uncheck retarget. There's an autoresponder that's already done for you. I don't need to do anything here. I can send a test email so I can see what it looks like a little bit better. There's also a preview tab. And it's a little bit narrow, but you get the idea, right? When this is an ad, people click through the ad. It's a Facebook lead ad. So name, email, and phone number, plus what is their time frame to sell. And from the ad, they're taking to a page where they can download the guide right from the ad. They'll also get sent an autoresponder, and from the autoresponder, they can download the guide as well. And all you got to do is click create ad. That easy. I had $50 for one lead. Well, yeah, Yakov, you're in New York. I mean, New York's going to be super expensive. And to be honest, if I'm going for seller leads, I would be doing, I like pending sold better if I'm going to be doing paid leads, just because those average between $5 to $12 each. And I like those. To promote cash offer, I like the other tools. So just hold tight. Let me just get through them and I'll talk through them as well. So we got Google ads. So here's a Google ad. So this is an add-on from listings to leads. And and these are going to be 30 to 50 bucks a lead on Google. Right? So again, Roseville, California, if you want to do this. We got the landing page set up so people, just like Facebook, they're going to click through, except it's more like a Facebook traffic ad. So there's no lead form like on Facebook where name, email, and phone number and selling time frame are automatically generated. So what will happen from Google is they click the Google ad, they land on the landing page, and then they have to fill it out there. Unlike Facebook, Google is like 30 to 50 bucks a day minimum. So right there, look at that, daily budget, $50. We'll start and end in 1 week. Click create ad, and that will be submitted to Google. Get that ad running. We have a social media post. So this is something I would make sure I do every at least once a month. At least once a month, I would be doing. I would do the guide, and then I would also do the landing page. So I would be doing 2 social media posts. I wouldn't do them on the same day. I would maybe spread them out every couple of weeks. So every couple of weeks I would come in because I think cash offer is a great recurring offer to people because they may have thought about doing a cash offer, but it's in the back of their mind. And if you repeat these offers, the guide once a month, maybe like on the 15th of the month, and then the cash offer landing page the first of the month every month. That means every 2 weeks, there's another cash offer message going out so that people, when they finally do decide, you know what, let me just see what that might look like, you're going to be top of mind. So, and again, fully editable. So I can click in here, change out this text. I can change the image. Again, I can click right here, go to Canva, get a beautiful image, use one of ours, and hit post now. Or I can schedule the post and schedule it for tomorrow at 3 o'clock, whatever I want to do. We got a short form video script, which I would highly recommend. So this is something that, again, I would come in here and I would do a video every 2 weeks. All right. When you do short form video and you get that on TikTok, you get it on Instagram. I know my wife now, who's a mortgage broker, she started out on TikTok and Instagram doing one post maybe every 4 or 5 days in the beginning. But because she's married to me, I stayed on her about it. Okay. And she went to one video every 2 to 3 days. And then she went to one video every day. She's now doing 2 to 3 videos a day, because you just get, for who here is not doing social media and who here is doing a short form video? I mean, let me know who here is doing social, like TikTok videos and so on. Are any of you doing it? Hard thing about video is you got to learn the equipment, you got to learn lighting, you got to learn to be comfortable, you got to learn how to edit a little bit, because in TikTok or Instagram you might need to do a little bit of editing. So there's a lot. The learning curve is not easy. To me, at least, it's not just as easy as picking up my phone and start recording myself. Right? What am I saying? Right? What's my hook? What am I doing? I look ridiculous. All right. The background, this noisy, my audio is no good. There's a lot to learn with this, but you're only going to learn. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Chat GPT. How do I do this? The only way you're going to learn to do it is just by starting to record some videos. I like TikTok the best because the editor is so easy to learn how to use. And I should probably start doing some classes on that, because I think, with what we're doing with my wife, she's now getting like 1,000 to 3,000 views per video on average, right? Hundreds of likes per video. Absolutely awesome. But I would at least be recording the video. All right. Because again, you're only going to get better at doing this if you start recording. And I'm telling you, the visibility and the branding is so powerful. I'm learning it's time consuming. Yeah, don't. Yes, it's time consuming in the beginning, but don't sit there for 2 to 3 hours obsessing over it. Just try to do something and then leave it and come back to it later. All right. I'll do a class on it at some point soon. There might be something here where it won't be something I do at my desk. Maybe I'll do it with a separate camera so I can show you exactly how to do it on the phone. And you can see exactly how easy it can be. All right. You need to be committed. And you also need to realize it's hard, but it's not hard. We'll come back to that some other time. I don't want to belabor, and we have a lot to get through today. So anyways, you got the script, record it, get comfortable on camera, because really, to me, that's number one, getting comfortable on the camera. Somebody asked earlier, well, how do I get this to my database? All right. So we got the e-flyer for your database. I can send it through Listings to Leads, and I can also send it through any CRM out there. You can edit the subject line. Again, I can edit the text. I can just click edit email. I can edit the text. I can edit the image. Right? I can edit everything. And whether you use it as is, or you make a slight edit or a major edit, the beautiful thing is we've got everything teed up for you. So we got the guide behind it. We got the ability to send it to your leads right away. We got the ability for you to take this and copy it into your CRM. So I would send this to my leads right now. If you're with me right now, I would send this to my leads while we're sitting here. So all my seller leads. In fact, I might just send to all my leads. If you think about it, 20 to 30% of your buyer leads have a home that they're probably going to be selling. Maybe 30 to 40% have a home and they might be curious about a cash offer on it. Now, somebody mentioned, and I should have mentioned this earlier, for cash offers, I would all day long. Now you can take it and you can give a cash offer to a lot of these programs. All right. Your company may have a relationship with some of these vendors that you can just submit a cash offer to. You type in the address, you get 3 cash offers back. Beautiful, easy, way to go. I would develop relationships with cash offer investors in my local area. Because as an agent, if you're not an investor, if you are not getting into investing, you should be. And I think one of the best ways to learn that is start working with investors and start bringing them possible deals. All right. So as I'm generating these cash offer leads, I'm going to qualify them. I'm going to follow up with them. And then when I get them on the phone, have that initial phone call with them, then I would turn it over to an investor. Or if it's an investor that I know and I'd say, hey, listen, I'm going to generate some leads and I'm just going to turn the leads over to you. I don't know if they're good, but do you want to follow up with these cash offer leads? Here's what my ad looks like. Here's what I'm doing. And that could go for your database as well. So if somebody in your database says, hey, I would like a cash offer on my home, you turn it over to an investor and start learning that part of the industry if you want. Make sense? Andrea says, sorry to be negative on you. Andrea, why are you being negative? I heard not to do hey Jen because you're not reliable when people meet you in person. What is hey Jen? I don't even know what hey Jen is. I definitely would never use. Is hey Jen like some sort of AI program? I would never use an AI program like that. Is that what you're talking, Andrea? I'm not really sure what hey Jen is, but I've heard of it. I'm just not sure. Yeah. What is this? Not for real estate, but very familiar from a hobby page. Okay. I think I'm missing some of your conversations here. Hagen is AI. Okay. Yeah. I always say if you're going to use AI, I use it all the time. You just edit the hell out of it so that it doesn't come across as AI, because AI has got a vernacular and the M dashes and all that kind of stuff. I make sure, like I said, I flip all the M dashes to a comma immediately, and then I'll go through and I'll edit it, because I've done so many ads where I will use the default text from listings to leads, and then I'll go and I'll say, hey, you're a 20-year marketing expert on Chat GPT 5, blah blah blah. I give it that kind of a prompt, and then I give it the ad copy, and I say, hey, make this more engaging, make this better. Never once has the Chat GPT 5 or 4 ever given me text in an ad that worked better than our default text. Hasn't happened. And I do 2 to 3 a week for the last few months minimum. All right. So anyways, e-flyer for your database. Get that to your database right now. If you want to send it through your CRM, Bold Trail, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, click the little icon right here. You can copy whichever version you want. With signature will include your listings to lead signature. This one, copy code will not. And then I got for Follow Up Boss. So I'm going to select Follow Up Boss. I'm going to go to Follow Up Boss, right where I send out my email, my email blast editor. I'm just going to paste it in there. And now there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Awesome. I will copy and paste in the subject line, or just type it in. I'm lazy, so I'm just going to, boom. Preview email. Looks great. People are going to click that email. And just like before, they're going to just download the guide right from my email. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, so let's get that out either through your CRM or through listings to leads. Then we got a database call script. I would call through some of my database. All right, call through some people in your database. Your database needs to hear from you. Being invisible, relying on emails to do all the heavy lifting for you, you want to be calling through your database. I don't care if you're calling. Sometimes people will say, well, I'm going to, for these kind of phone calls, obviously I can call through my previous leads for this kind of a funnel, or maybe I just call through my C leads, right? Those really, really cold leads. If you got a hot lead that came in on a pending or whatever, you could call them as well, because you're just making an offer. You're providing an option for them, and options are not bad as long as you're being honest about it. So here's the script. So I'll say, hey, Daryl, Scott here at XYZ Realty. I just sent out my new guide. Should you sell your home fast for cash via email to all of my clients and local homeowners in the area? And I just want to make sure that you got that and see if you might have any questions regarding selling your home for cash. There's some benefits, there's some pros to it, there's cons to it. And I just want to make sure if that is something that you've been thinking about, I want to be able to help you so that you understand everything about it. All right, just super easy. You're just trying to be a value, right? You're trying to be a source of value to people, a source of education. I'm not trying to talk you into selling your home for cash. I'm just trying to give you what. If you want to talk about FSBO, we can talk about cash offer. We can talk about my 100-point home marketing plan. We can talk about getting your home ready to sell next year. We can talk about just you maybe wanting to downsize in 3 or 4 years because your kids are getting ready to go to college. And maybe in a couple of years, you're going to start thinking about downside. I'm just here to help you with your real estate needs, whatever it is that you're deciding. I just want to make sure that you know all the options. And this is an option. That's what it is. All right. So take that script, learn it a little bit. I mean, don't learn it, but take a look at it, go through it, and then call some of your leads. Let them know that you're around and that you are a resource in your local area. All right. Next up are the print flyers. And again, let me see here. This is not the same print flyer, but you can go door knocking with this. I know people that have gone door knocking with it. Again, at an open house, you could put it in a acrylic flyer holder and display it at the open house. I would combine that with the nearby homeowner letter. So if I'm doing an open house, I'm going to use the nearby homeowner letter, invite all the neighbors to the open house, and I would have one of these print flyers. Let me bring it up for you. And again, everything you're seeing here, we've got for the landing page. And you can create multiple landing pages. You can create unlimited landing pages. And I'll show you how to do that. So should you sell your home, download your free guide, Should You Sell Your Home Fast for Cash, QR code, a little like a little graphic about the guide right there, quick little quote, your branding at the bottom right there, your logo, your picture, great little guide. And again, whether it's this guide or some other guide, I definitely recommend at an open house, have a couple of these. And you see, I've got like 3 or 4 sitting on my desk right here. All right. So that's the print flyer. We do have postcards and door hangers. What I would do is, if you got a farm where you are sending postcards or doing door hangers or doing some sort of outreach, I would add these postcards and door hangers to my campaign. For example, if you're using Follow Up Boss, my mailbox. Who here is anyone using Mailbox Power? Anybody using Mailbox Power, or maybe Thanks.io, other postcard companies? I don't know why this is taking a while here. Let's just give it a few seconds. There we go. All right. So check this out. Let me download the front. Download. So we got Mailbox Power right there. Their postcard editor is a little bit different. So that's why we got a Mailbox Power specially. So even though that preview was the wrong color, you can see here it's the right color. So for example, with Mailbox Power, with Thanks.io, you can replace this image with a dynamic image of the address that this is being mailed to. You can also replace this QR code with a dynamic QR code so that when this postcard gets sent to, 123 Main Street, it's going to have a image of 123 Main Street right where this image is, and it will have a, QR code so that when the person at 123 Main Street scans the QR code, I'm going to get notified that the person at 123 Main Street just scanned your QR code for this guide. Phenomenal. I believe Thanks.io does that. I think Mailbox Power does that. There might be other postcard companies as well. Melinda says you get 200 free cards a month and you can put neighbor letter in a card. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely awesome. Thank you, Melinda. I appreciate that. We've also got the, yeah, you could do the nearby homeowner letter. You could do the flyer. I think I like door knocking. I would take this right here. So here's the door hanger, and I would take that door knocking. Makes sense? Because then I can knock on the door. I can use a farm circle prospecting script, which I'll show you next, right? Super easy, right? Knock on the door, take a couple of steps back, especially if you're a man, right? We don't want to crowd the door and make people a little bit nervous. I'm 6'2", so I always try to make sure I take a few steps back. I don't want people to get like, what the hell is this dude on my door for? And then when they come to the door, I would just say, hey, my name is Scott Pierce with L2L Realty. And, whether we just sold a house down the street or whatever it is. But let's go to the farm and circle prospecting script so we can be looking at this. All right. So knock on the door. All right. Or if you're calling, either way. All right, my name is Scott Pierce with L2L Realty in Sacramento. And my new homeowners and home selling guide has just been sent to my clients and homeowners in Sacramento. So that's a phone call. But if you're door knocking, then you could just flip that for you want to offer them your guide. All right. And if it was a postcard, you could say that you sent it. If it's a door hanger, you could say you can scan the key. If you'd like a copy of my guide, you can scan the QR code right on this hanger, or this, like, kind of weird to call it a door hanger, but you say you could scan the QR code here, right? I'm going to hand you the door hanger, hand you the print flyer, and just say you could scan the QR code here if you want to download the guide. But it'll walk you through the steps of of getting a cash offer, some of the pros and cons. And I just want it to be a resource for homeowners in the area, whether you're thinking about selling soon, in the future, downsizing, upsizing, cash offer, list with my 100-point home marketing plan. I just want to be a valuable resource for you and make sure that you know all the options and the pros and cons of every option. That's all, right? I'm not selling. My job is to put myself in front of as many people as possible, because when I do that and I have good conversations, I'm offering value, I'm being a resource, I'll get business. It's just me making sure I'm out there with a good message. And this is a great message, especially if you communicate it effectively, not as in, oh, would you like a cash offer on your home? They're going to say no. All right. Or they're going to yell at you and say, oh, those cash offers suck. All right. I did a cash offer 5 years ago and they try to give me half the money in my home and blah, 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 blah. So if you frame it appropriately, now you can have a much bigger conversation where the cash offer is just a lead in. All right. It's just the reason for you being on their door, or you being calling them on the phone, or sending them an email, or whatever it is. Right. This message is just that. It's just a conversation starter, so we can have a much better and much deeper and a broader conversation around what are your goals, right? What is right for you relating to selling your home now or in the future? All right. Any questions on this? So these are all the tools for the PDF guide, and we got the landing page to go to next. We talked about follow-up and how it's part of the follow-up. We talked about the PDF guide and how you can do Facebook ads, Google ads, things I wouldn't do necessarily, because I think there are other ways of generating paid seller leads on Facebook that are better. I would definitely do the social media post every couple of weeks, or once a month for the guide, once a month for the landing page. I would start doing the videos. You could do the videos every 2 weeks as well. I would make sure I send the emails to my database once a month also. I would call through my database once a month with this message. We have so many database call scripts. Every day of the week, there is another database call script. And what we like to do is call, depending on how many people in your database, but if you could call 5 to 10 people in your database with one of these messages and keep that regular, where you're hitting your database once every 1 to 3, depending on how big it is, 6 months, right? Your A's, your B's, your C's, you're going to get more out of your database. It's just common sense. Any questions on that before we take off to the landing page tab? Debbie, what I did is I clicked PDF guides, and then in the search box, I put cash, and then the landing page comes up. I can download the guide in English or Spanish, and then I can click marketing tools to get to all those marketing tools. Make sense? All right. So landing pages in your account, trying to edit PDF guide email. Yeah. No, you should. Yeah, I'll show you in the landing page. We'll take a look at it there. All right. iBuyer. Sorry, let me back up. So I'm in the landing page section. All right, landing page is right here. And for most of you, the iBuyer landing page, the default one, will be top row, far right. And I'm going to click. There's a checklist. There's the view landing page. This is mine. I've edited it a little bit, which I'll walk you through. And here's the edit. So on the far right is where it says edit. And let me bring up the landing page again. We can kind of hop back and forth. So my headline is right here. Get an instant market value cash offer on your home. Subheadline, I've got no showings, no stress. You pick the closing date. And if we go here, you can see where that showed up right there. I changed the background image. Reasons to sell. I can add reasons. I can edit reasons. I can rotate reasons, right? Reorder them, right? Divorce, bankruptcy is now the first one, right? Boom, bada bing. Divorce and bankruptcy is now the first one right there. So we got 6 allowed, because then it's just 3 columns of 2. Looks great. People are going to come in here. They're going to add their address. Cash offer estimate. Have you signed a listing agreement? No. How soon are you looking to sell? 2 to 4 weeks. What is the condition of your home? Some repairs needed. Are you interested in selling my house fast? Getting a cash offer. Right. Some options. I believe those are all editable as well. Next. Cash offer estimate. Cash offer estimate. And all of this is controllable. I'll show you where you can edit all of this. And what we do for the cash offer, I believe, is we take it like down 20% from the standard offer. Maybe it's down like 30 or 40%. Whatever it is, I can't. Yeah, you can ask support maybe, but we take the average, like a home value, but we bring it down quite a bit, right? Because cash offers obviously are offering way, way lower than standard, what you would list it for. All right. So that's the landing page. And let's see here, lead form. All right. So as I work my way, I'm in edit, and I'm just working my way down this column. So here's the lead form. Form questions, right? Have you signed a listing agreement? How soon are you looking to sell? What is the condition of your home? What are you interested in? And I can add more questions. I can edit these. You can see here I can do radio buttons, check boxes, text area. All right, so a lot of options here for those questions that you want to do. Again, I can turn them off, rearrange them, add new ones. The form field was name, email, and phone number. You can see that right there. All right, so that's that. There's an autoresponder, fully editable. There is, so somebody said maybe you've got maybe you got your own domain. You can use domain forwarding and then type in or copy in your website URL. So if you got a cash offer landing page that you want to use in listings to leads, hit domain forwarding and then forward to your domain. Super easy to do. We got the pixel and tracking codes, preferences. So if you want to add in tags, so it drops into your CRM automatically with the tags that you want added to it, you can do that right there. And if I go to marketing tools, very similar to the PDF guide. There's going to be nothing different here for the most part. One thing I did not show before was how to use a custom audience. So I showed how to do the standard ad now, and you can do this with all ads in listings to leads. You can do it with all ads. Check this out. You got a custom audience. It may be your database. It may be something you buy from My Plus Leads or RedX. You got all the homeowners in your area. It could be a list of 1,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever it is. But I've got a custom audience in Facebook. If you need to, you can download get a CSV file. I'll show you a little bit later. If you click on the ads tab, there's a blue button called Create Audience that you can click, upload your CSV file. You can also go to the business manager in Facebook if you want to get complicated, but we make it a lot easier by just going to ads, click the blue button, upload the same file as you would have in Facebook. We will send it to Facebook. I have seen audiences get registered and ready to use in 15 minutes. Normally, I would recommend giving it like a day or two just in case. So don't try to run an ad and go, oh my God, I'm going to upload my audience and then run my ad right away. It can take anywhere from 15 minutes to a couple of days for Facebook to generate the audience from your CSV file. But just like before, you got different options. And I'll tell you, I'm gonna get a little bit advanced right here. So don't get overly, if you're a little bit confused, just listen and don't allow yourself to get aggravated. But for those of you that understand what I'm talking about, I'll try to be brief. I could go to video views and use the short form video script or do my own video, right? Hey, this is Scott with XYZ home buyers in Folsom, California. We buy homes for cash and we can give you 3 offers in 48 hours. So if you're thinking about getting a cash offer, and we'll also give you the pros and cons of accepting a cash offer. We're not here to sell you on getting a cash offer, but we just want to give you options, right? Go ahead and click the Learn More button below. Submit your information. We'll get back to you as quickly as possible, type of thing, right? So you could record your own video, upload it here. And so I'll show you, there's the blue button right there, upload video. I'm just going to use this video. This is not a related, I'm just uploading a video as a placeholder for now. So I'll give it a second here. And then see where it says custom audience? So I know this is buyer, but maybe this is the custom audience of all the homeowners in Folsom that I bought from My Plus Leads or RedX, or it's my database. So I got a custom audience. And then check this out. Daily budget, I could say $3. So for $3 a day, I am now in front of all the homeowners in Folsom. And I can do this with every seller ad in listings to leads, every buyer ad. For straight up lead generation, I like to do this standard lead ad. So this is not something I recommend. This is not something I recommend for if you're trying to generate leads. This is a little bit of a different thing. So this is a little bit more advanced. where, I've got a pipeline, I've got this custom audience, and I just want to get this message in front of them. Now I'm going to generate leads, right? $3 a day. I can do $10 a day, right? Whatever I want. Start end date. If I do $3 a day, I may take my end date to 30 days out, right? October 7th, whatever, right? 30, 60. And yep. All right. I enter my custom audience above, so we're good to go. And then if I want to see, there's the video. Right, but of course, I'm not going to run that video. I'm just showing you as a placeholder for an actual video. Yakov says, so this is just for ad objective video views. No, you can do a few others. Yeah, let me turn this off. Back to create ad. So I could do anytime I use, so video views, or anytime I use a custom audience, I can do that $3 to $5 a day thing. So check this out, traffic. And I'll do Roseville, California. And I'm going to come down here, custom audience. Again, I'll select my custom. Now, again, I'm showing a buyer audience, but you'd want to use a seller audience, a cash offer. And then I can change lifetime to daily, go to $3. And now I can run that ad to, now, if you're going to use a custom audience, actually don't put in location, because what will happen is it will meet both criteria. So only show that ad to people both in Roseville and my custom audience. So if I got people in my custom audience outside of Roseville, they won't see the ad. Or if there are people in Roseville that are not in my custom audience, they won't see the ad. So don't do both audience and location. Just do one or the other. Make sense? Liza, I missed the beginning of the webinar. They request a cash offer. Who do we use? No, I did talk about that a little bit earlier. A lot of you have companies that have relationships with, maybe it's like Open Door or whatever these companies are. What I would do is I would make relationships. I would start going to these investor meetings, these investor meetups, and I would want to meet 4 to 5 local investors in my area that do cash offers. Not all of them do, but some of them definitely do. And I would start developing relationships with them so that I can learn that part of the business a little bit. And so that I can actually, if I start bringing somebody a few deals that actually turn into a cash offer, and then I can say, maybe the next time I say, hey, could I, be part of the negotiation with you, or just CC me? I want to be a part of this, right? Because if you close them, I want to get I want to get a referral from you for closing that cash offer. But then my bigger goal, or as big, is I want to learn that part of the business a little bit. But again, you could just go to, there are so many websites, not so many. There are websites that you can go to. I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe get into the mastermind group, but there are websites that agents. I know some of the companies, the real estate brokerages, have relationships with cash offer platforms that you can look up as well. All right. So we talked about the Facebook ad. Same thing with the Google ad. All right. Just like before with the PDF guide. And like I said before, I'm not Google. Jeez Louise. I am going to be, now, the only time I would run an ad is if I was doing a custom audience, and I might do $5 a day. But for my seller leads, there are other, I think, better ways of generating seller leads. Again, pending, sold, nearby homeowner letter for an open house, different things like that. I'm not going to do a straight up lead ad for $100 for a cash offer landing page. It's just too expensive for those leads. You're looking at like $20 it could be $30 for a seller lead, right? I mean, it could be higher. And there are so many great free ways. So again, we got the social media post, right? So here's my social media post. This is on Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on. Again, I can change the text. I can change the image, get that up onto my social media. Short form video. Again, I would do this every few weeks. Every few weeks, I would do this to add a little bit more to our conversation from earlier about doing video. If you are new to doing video and you're uploading video to Instagram or TikTok, what have you, and you're not happy with how it looks and nobody is seeing it, that is absolutely perfect because you don't want anybody seeing your first videos that you're doing. I wouldn't want anybody to see my videos until maybe the 10th or the 15th video because I'm getting comfortable with it. I'm learning how to do video. And the beautiful thing, it's kind of like childhood to adulthood, right? When you're a child, there are a lot of things that you can't do. You're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you just don't know about it. But as an adult, right, you got the ability to do all of these things. Same thing with doing video on social media. In the beginning, no one's going to see it because you don't have any algorithm pull. All right. No one is ever going to see those first 10 videos that you do, except maybe your family at most. And if they laugh at you, fine. Who cares? All right. They're your family. But you're only going to get better at doing video if you start recording video and putting it out there, right? If 23 people saw my video, so what? There are a million people in my area, 23 out of a million that think I look kind of funny or I'm not great at doing video. And in 3 weeks from now, they're not going to remember ever seeing it. All they're going to know is when I'm 2 to 3 months into it. And now, all right, now I'm looking a lot better. That's what they're going to know. But I can't get there if I don't start. So hopefully that will help you out a little bit. Otherwise, yeah, I do have investors that are always calling me. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I want to learn some of that. I want to learn some of that part of the business. Debbie says, is there a premium? No, 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 no. Debbie, the only premium regarding ads is Google. So the Facebook, there's no premium. 100% of the budget goes to the ad. It's just Google where there's a bit of a premium. And it's like $30 a month for the Google stuff. It's just, not a lot of people do Google. And if you're doing Google, I mean, you're spending $500 a month minimum, like 1,000, maybe 2,000, 3,000 on Google. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Linda, what is the time frame for Instagram video length? I believe it's a minute and a half or 2 minutes. I try to keep all my videos under a minute and a half. But maybe ask ChatGPT, but I believe it's like 90 seconds. Although I know they change it all the time. And I know on TikTok, you can upload a video, I think even longer, right? But then it almost kind of defeats the purpose. I know in a lot of the videos I do, I record a landscape video that's longer, and that's going to go up to YouTube. And then I'll record a short video that I'll put up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and Facebook. All right, e-flyer for your database. Just like before, we got 6 different versions of these e-flyers. And I can click copy code. I can click edit or send. I'll click send. And we got a preview tab. And when people get this, they'll click. Here's my landing page automatically set up. I can send it right now to all of my seller leads, all of my seller and buyer leads, or all of my leads, like I talked about before. Just because they are a buyer lead doesn't mean they don't have a home to sell. So this might be something that I actually send out to everybody in my database. Up to you how you want to do that. One of the things I do is when I get leads coming into Listings to Leads or for any CRM, on the lead detail page, there is a more button that you can search email, search phone. And I always recommend people doing that. As you're calling through your leads, as you're calling, right? So and I can't show you because then it's personal information that's being displayed across the internet. But when you go to the leads page and you click on the lead's name, it'll be the lead detail page. Upper right is a button called More. And as I'm going through my leads and calling through them and following up with my phone calls, now we got the AI text follow-up that you want to be using. But as I'm calling, I'm going to look at that More button. And when I hit it, there are a couple of options. Search name on Google. Yeah, sometimes. Search email on Google. I'll get more hits from that one. Or search phone number on Google, and I get even more from that one. So it's a free, now you may have a service that will do this for you, but it's a free, easy way to find out, do these leads, right? Do they have a home and do they own it? But regardless, I can also take any of these e-flyers. I'll put copy for follow-up boss. Go to your CRM like we did before and navigate to where you can drop in the code. And now I got the great email to send out to my database. And so I got the e-flyer. And again, we got 6 different versions of it. Again, like before, we got the database call script. Right. Again, so many of you are relying on email. You're actually not relying on anything, because a lot of you are not following up with your database very often. To have this many listings to leads gives you so many opportunities to call through your database, where I don't have to call my entire database with one offer every day of the week, right? 5 days every week. There's another marketing funnel, right? Listings, pending solds, PDF guides, landing pages, so many things I can call through my database and offer them. So in this case right here, similar to the guide, all right, we got a database call script, hey, Melinda, Scott Pierce here, XYZ Realty, and I'm reaching out because I sent an email to all of my clients and my VIPs about a new cash offer program that's available. And I just want to make sure you got that. You can get up to 3 cash offers in 24 to 48 hours. And, there's a lot of pros and cons to a cash offer, but I wanted to make that available to you in case you're interested in it. If you'd like to learn more about the pros and cons of a cash offer, would love to have that conversation with you as well. They're going to be like, if the worst case, if they're not interested, they're going to be, wow, at least Scott gave me a call and he let me know what was up. And he told me there were pros. He told me there are cons. He wasn't trying to sell me. He was just trying to have a conversation. So even if I leave that as a voicemail, that is a win. Similar to the PDF guide, we've got the flyers. So you may like the flyer for the guide. You may like the flyer for the landing page. Either way, we got flyers. Scan the QR code, landing page comes up. That could be, again, another great thing to door knock with or hand out. Similarly, we've got the postcards. So if I am doing a farm campaign, a direct mail campaign, I could include either or both, right? Because they're different, right? One is an offer for the guide where I'm going to educate and learn a little bit more about the cash offer type of programs. And then here, I'm literally going to submit my address to get a cash offer. So they're different value propositions, different call to actions. They're going to hit a little bit of a different, the PDF guide will hit people that are more upstream. This one will hit people that are more downstream, a little bit quicker to act usually. And the beautiful thing is most of these people are not going to take a cash offer. 90% probably of these people are going to list their home for sale when they're ready to sell. And farmer circle prospecting script, just like before. So if you're going to door knock, you can use this. You can edit this to be great for a door knocking script. If you're going to do a postcard and you want to call through, always make sure you run against the DNC. Don't cold call people on the DNC. If you want to create your own custom postcard or flyer in Canva, you got a QR code that you can point to or include. So it goes to the landing page. And I can even take my landing page and I could embed it at my website. How cool would that be? Marlene says, could we include the radius? You can. I'm not a big fan of that unless you increase your ad budget, because especially if you're doing like 35 or 50 bucks, if I extend the radius, now my audience is bigger, which seems like a good thing until you realize, oh, but my budget isn't bigger. All that's going to happen is now my budget is going to be spread a little bit too thin, probably. And so people don't see the ad enough to start engaging with it. And that's what we want. So I say, if you're going to go from like 15 to 30 or 45, make sure you increase your budget to at least 50, if not $100. All right. Or what I do, Marlene, is I try to make sure, like for example, I live where I live. Okay, so I live I live on X, but sometimes I'm targeting an area that's north of where I live because there's some really nice areas up there. When I'm working with, and I'm talking theoretically here, I would, and I've actually done this with an agent locally. So so let's say it's a home value. So I could say Roseville, Folsom, but I'll go to like Penryn. And Penryn is a little podunk nothing town. But it's not about being in Penryn. I want to be 15 miles because I don't want Sacramento. I do want to get Auburn. I want to get into Folsom, a little bit of south. Now, you guys won't know what I'm talking about, but you can just extrapolate for your local areas to say, hey, listen, if I put the pin or if I put in Folsom, well, it's going to be 15 miles around Folsom, but I may want that 15-mile radius to be a little bit over here more. And so even though I don't want a listing in Penryn, I don't want any cash buyer, and there's really nobody living there. It's like probably 400 people living there. What I want is the area that is enveloped in the 15-mile radius around Penryn. Hopefully that made sense. Because if I were to use Folsom, half of the 15-mile radius would be farmland, like literally nobody there. All right. What recording should I watch? Streamlining funnel, for example. I want to take my buyers in the city of Orange, separate them. I don't really get it. I want to take my buyers in the city of Orange. Yeah, maybe get to the mastermind group. I don't really get the question. I mean, obviously we got buyers in Orange, we got buyers in LA. I assume you're in Los Angeles, right? Um, and I'll tell you the last thing here before we all go, and I hate keeping people too long. I apologize. On the main landing page dashboard, create landing page. I can create as many of these as I want. I don't recommend you create too many of them because it's too much to manage. But if you want to create maybe one or two more, check this out, iBuyer. And I'll say Orange. That's a city in Southern California, outside of Los Angeles. All right, so check this out. We buy orange houses for cash fast. Now, if you live in Orange, that won't sound weird. If you don't live, it may, and you can even put CA if you wanted to. Though I hate putting the state. Everybody that lives there knows where they live. Yeah. Linda. Yeah, well, the tags will typically show the city or at least the address. So if the buyer leads are coming in off of a listing, the tag will have the city and the address. But for all of these landing pages, you can do this. It's just for example, there's like 200 towns. Or, LA is not there. There is no LA. It's West Hollywood, it's Santa Monica, it's Venice Beach, it's Laguna Beach, it's Huntington Beach, it's Orange, it's Costa Mesa, not Costa Mesa, that's further south, but you get the idea. It's like New York, right? Yeah, there's a thing called New York, but it's all these boroughs and everything. So, could I do a landing page for every one of these little areas? I could. Do I want to manage that? Not really. That's just a lot to manage. That means I got to have like 20 different landing pages. And it's like, I would just rather have one for the LA area. All right. Now, if I got a specific, like if I'm really big into Palos Verdes, maybe that's like my main farm area. Well, then maybe I do one for that. But I'm going to be careful about doing too many unique landing pages because it's just a lot more to manage. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Get into the mastermind group if you got more general strategy questions. If you got a specific question about how to do something in particular, maybe get with our support team. They're probably going to be a little bit faster to help you out. And with that, thank you, everybody. Liza, I always love seeing you, Liza. Thank you for joining us. All right. Any last minute questions, though? I don't mind hanging out for a quick minute. My marketing people are killing me. I got 3 videos I need to record today. So I got to get on that quick because they're like, you've not been doing your videos. Yeah, Daryl, maybe that, to be honest, the market reports is something I keep thinking I want to either get rid of because we haven't updated them in years, or B, we're redoing our system, and it's going to be alpha beta groups will be going into it the next couple of weeks, I hope. And I don't even know where the market reports are. Where are they even at? Ad listing, more tools, market report. Here, let me just show you. If I go add market report, farm area, Orange, California. And so, and I know we could do so much of a better job. This is actually a really cool tool. First of all, you want to replace everything in red with, in fact, you know what I would do? Here's what I would do. I would just go to Chat GPT. I'll bring it over here in 1 second. So anybody who wants to hang out, just hang out for a minute if you want to see this. It actually is really cool. It's just one of those things that doesn't get used enough, although I think it really is so awesome. Please give me a real estate market report for homes for sale and sold for ORANG California for August, July 2025 versus July 24. All right. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this part of it. You'll get the idea. You can get your own prompt. All right. And I'm just going to highlight this. And that's kind of a lot, but that's fine. Whatever. And of course, I would go through it. I would edit it, make sure it looks great. Now, I'll tell you a nice thing about the way we got it set up is we automatically have the schedule of showing links in here. But you know what? And I do like our layout. The most expensive home in the month, least expensive. In fact, I'm going to go back. Let's go back. Please highlight the most expensive home to sell in this area in both July 2025 and July 2024 near the top of this report. People love like super expensive. They want to see the most beautiful property. And then if I wanted to, I could go out and I could get the link to my website, the link from realtor.com. I hate linking to realtor.com or Zillow. Here's enhanced version. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to highlight it and then I'll move that part to the middle or down. So I'm going to highlight that. Back in listings to leads. So I'm in the editor on the left side there. I'm just going to copy and paste that in there. And again, I'll go through here. I would go through here. I would edit this, make it look nice. But what's really cool is, check this out. I'm going to add listings so I can add manually or from my account. And so select listing, add I thought you could grab. So status, where is, I'll say just sold. And I think at some point, man, we could just do this from the feed. You got to upload an image. So, it's there's a little bit to it. I always call it ORA, Orange California Homes for Sale. And why is that not doing? Let me see. Homes for sale and sold report. Whatever. Let's see what it looks like. Because what it's going to do, it's going to create a website. Oh, address. Let me just take this one out. Select from account. Save. And website. And so instead of being a single property website for a listing, it's essentially a single property website market report. And so these are the two listing. Of course, I select things without photos. But here's the market report, right? We got some things in here for buying and selling. And so the idea is that we can add listings that we want to it that people could look at, right? But yeah, I mean, this is something that we've just not, I mean, I've just not touched this in so long. E-flyer for my database, listing flyers. God, let me see what this looks like. I haven't looked at this in so long. But I think this could be something where we could do a lot better. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, those are listings. We should actually have a QR code on here. A QR code would be better. But yeah, so Daryl, hopefully that doesn't help. One other thing I might do, for example, under edit is, because I copied and pasted that text in there, is highlight it all and clear formatting. And now when I save it, the e-flyer will look a lot better. See, that looks a lot better already. So here's an e-flyer I could send to my database. I wonder. So 121 Tomlinson just sold. Let's go back. Let me get rid of that listing real quick. Or sure you want to delete this listing? Yes. So I think a great use case for this, Dare, might be, because I always tell people, man, if you got listings to leads and you got up to 10 listings that you can market with our base program, you should have 10 listings in your account. All right. My wife, who's a mortgage broker, calls up agents and will say, hey, can I advertise your listing on Facebook, send it to my database, do a quick video about it. And dude, agents are always, yeah, please, right? Give me some exposure for my listing. Even in a good market, typically, most agents will say yes. So even if you're not running straight up ads for a listing, because how we have the single property website and it shows more listings, agents have told me that really helps, because then, and I'll show you what I mean in a second, because then people are like, oh my God, you got so many listings. Because if it looks like you've got all these listings that you're marketing, people are going to assume you must be the listing agent on all of them. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second here. But let me add. So if I go to add listings and let's do just listed, we'll say that's just listed. So I'm just going to add all the listings from my account. Now I'll add two more. Let's see, let's do 5530. Let's do 694 Douglas. All right, that's enough for this. All right, and now when I look at the property website, it should look a little bit better. So here's my homes for sale and sold report for Orange, California. All right, just listed. All right, here's another listing. Here's another listing. All right, that could be sold, right? Whatever it's going to be. I got my text right here in there. I've got if I go to market listing, I've got the e-flyer. Let's send a test email. See what this looks like. Oh my God, I haven't looked at this in probably 3 or 4 years. Let's see what that looks like. Hold on. Let me refresh my email. I'm looking at my other monitor here. Yeah, not bad. So here's the email. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. That's pretty good. Got my signature at the bottom right there. People click that. Oh, I should have gone. Get home details. And it will take me to the website right there. Here I get my home value. I can get a home value here. I can see your reviews. I can get your 100-point home marketing plan. I can download the guides, right? Download PDF guides, your 100-point home marketing plan. So, Daryl, does that help you out at all? That was all done from the listing page. Oh, Markeisha, are you doing this too? Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know why the grab isn't there. Let me ask my team why the grab should be there. I don't know why it's not. Yeah. Yeah. Uh Ping me. No, when I get off this call, I'll just ask him. And I can rearrange. You can see here. I can drag it up and down. I didn't realize so many people were using this. And let me show you what I mean though by why you should have 10 listings in your account. And Liza, how I got there was it's under more tools. So on the listings dashboard here under more tools, I'll tell you a really cool one. If any of you have let's say you got like a downtown storefront, right? You go to Sarasota, Florida, you might have if you got a downtown office or maybe at a shopping mall, put this is called for the monitor, and you put it on a monitor, and there's a couple different looks, but it will have a QR code. Check that QR code, and it just rotates through your account, and you can even select. Someday I should do a webinar on all the weird little tools that we've got that nobody knows about. Um, yeah, I can say, show me the address and show me the statuses. I'll save it. I don't even know what push post means anymore. I haven't looked. Again, this is one of those tools I haven't looked at in so long. So imagine this on a monitor, like in a downtown office, in a mall, in a shopping area, and it's just rotating through. And people can scan the QR code. They can send a text. Notice it's got text 1001 to 25678 for all the photos, right? And you just put that on full screen, and you just let that rotate through on your monitor. I've had people even in an office, like in their office, you walk into their office and they'll have like a monitor. They will have something like this running. So anyway, that's kind of cool. Listing widgets, all listings email. This is a really cool one. We got different templates. I like the 2x2, but we got single column, large, single column, small as well. And it's just an email with all of the listings in your account. And I can select by status. I can select by listing. So I can say, I just want open house coming soon, just listed and active. Or I can select which listings exactly I want. And I can send the email to all of my leads. I can copy the email, send it out of my CRM. I can send a test email. And if I go to my email and I bring it over, and now I got a nice email with selected listings. And what's really cool, and to my point earlier about why you want to have 10 listings in your account, because when people land on your single property website, all right, so, somebody from a Facebook ad, a Facebook post, an e-flyer, whatever it is, and they're scrolling down, they're looking at the listing, right? Your 3D tour, your professional photos, maps and local, all right, PDF guides. And wait, what? Hold on a second. Let me, sorry, give me a second here. Let me see. Let's click here. So when I scroll down, you see here it says view more listings. If you got like one or none, whatever, that's fine. But when you got like all like 8 or 9 or 10 listings, people just invariably think these are your listings. And they think like, oh my God, he must be a top agent. He must be really good. Because, not only does everything look beautiful, but he's got all those listings. And I think I took it out of this one. Let me see here. In fact, you see this one here. And again, mine's a demo account, a test account in a sense, but the Forgotten Tree, speaking of Southern California. So if you've got community videos, you can add community videos to your single property websites for that area. I think that's in Santa Clarita, maybe. But yeah, anyways. All right. I've gone way too long. My people are going to be so mad at me. Anyways. All right. I have an Excel sheet. Oh, wow. Oh, geez, Louise. Nice. Oh, all right. Awesome. Liza, hopefully that helped. Daryl, thank you so much. Don't forget your affiliate link. I will let you go because I got to get some videos done for my marketing people. And yeah, get to the mastermind group. Let me know how you're doing. We'll talk to you soon, everybody. Thanks.